Ages, Michael, what a fantastic.
Stateman leads them towards the tape. Institution Hill on his toes. White flag raised, and that off. In the Boodles champion hurdle, very much interlinked with the highly dramatic Cheltenham equivalent. 9 flights to jump, and it is Stateman who sets off to make it. Is over the first from stable companion Cargés on the inside of Golden Ace, followed by Constitution Hill. The final couple heading to the second flight are Butler's Secret and Break My Soul. The leader by over 3 lengths is Stateman, dual winner with home advantage, leads to flight number 2, Golden Ace. Third is Cargés, followed by Constitution Hill, the white jacket and black cap, with the last 2, Butler's Secret and Break My Soul. Over the second they go, and the leader is Stateman. Goes up to the bend, showing 3.5 to 4 in front of the champion hurdle winning mare Golden Ace, disputing second with Cargés. Getting a clear view of flight number 3 is Constitution Hill, and then comes Butler's Secret, and last of all is Break My Soul. In single file, having jumped 3, they make the downhill to the 4th. In the lead is Stateman and Paul Townend. From Golden Ace, Lorcan Williams on the outside of Cargés, who's taking quite a hold on the downhill for Danny Mullins, and then Constitution Hill, James Bone today, Butler's Secret, Danny Gilligan, and 6th of the 6 is Break My Soul and Keith Donoghue. They arrive at flight number 4 at the bottom of the track. Stateman over by 4 lengths to Cargés, who's just wrestled back second from Golden Ace. In 4th still is Constitution Hill, on a recovery mission after falls at Cheltenham and Liverpool. A gap then to Butler's Secret and Break My Soul, but very little changes from first to last. They turn down the back straight with another 5 flights left to jump. The Boodles champion hurdle, and a Stateman over the first of the flights down the back, followed by Cargés, Golden Ace. Constitution Hill remains in 4th with a break to Butler's Secret and Break My Soul. Right across from the stands, they're at halfway now, and it is Stateman lobbing along 2.5 in front. A clear running second is Golden Ace, has moved on a length in front of Cargés, who's joined for third by Constitution Hill, who was brave there. 5 lengths to Butler's Secret and Break My Soul. They finished their jumping in the back straight, a good run to 3 out. And it is Stateman with a reduced advantage over Golden Ace, as they're soon to come up to the final 5 furlongs. Golden Ace followed by Constitution Hill on the outside of Cargés, who runs the rail. A little bit closer at the back, both Butler's Secret and Break My Soul. On the run to the third last flight, and it is Stateman by less than a length to a closing up Golden Ace. Edging into third, Constitution Hill on the outside of Cargés, over 3 flights from the finish, and it is Stateman in front, as he's been from the outset, followed by Golden Ace. Constitution Hill is nudged along on the outside of Cargés as they come to the second last, and it's Stateman over Constitution Hill, blundered, running round the home turn, and it is Stateman applying some pressure. Cargés back into second, third is Golden Ace. Constitution Hill has dropped right off them as they swing in for the final flight, and the Boodles champion hurdle, and Stateman leads his stable companion Cargés by 4 to 5 lengths. Golden Ace in third, Break My Soul now back 5th, Constitution Hill, and beneath by James Bone. The final flight, Stateman's clear. He's over the last from Cargés and Golden Ace in their private battle for second and third, but it is Stateman jumping back to his brilliant best to win the 3rd Boodles champion hurdle. Stateman, what a legend! Second is Golden Ace, Cargés third, Break My Soul, Constitution Hill beat 1 home, Butler's Secret.
Well, what about that? Stateman has, in no uncertain terms, made up for his fall at the Cheltenham Festival, and he's completed the hat-trick in the Boodles champion hurdle here at Punchestown. The 9 to 4 second favourite has bossed this race from the word go. Constitution Hill has run dismally given a very conservative sort of ride today and made a mistake at the wrong time and was quickly beaten after that. Here we are, down to the last on. You felt State Man was the one to be with. How right you were, and I would imagine you loved what you were seeing in the early part of the race, surely.
He was brilliant, Gary, and Paul Town then gave him that no-nonsense ride, got him in front, set up an advantage from early. His jumping was superb today, State Man. He hardly missed a beat, and we know what he can do. He's won this race for each of the last 2 seasons. He's completed the hat-trick, and at no point in the race, really, did you think that he was going to be threatened, but that he was in real danger. At every part of the race, I'm sure Connections were happy with State Man the whole way. Constitution Hill set off in behind. He was a little bit big over his first 2 flights, and he just couldn't get into that racing rhythm that we know that he can. He just isn't at his best today, Constitution Hill, for whatever reason. But State Man, brilliant, and super performance by Willie Mullen's horse.
Don, I want to get your thoughts on the ride on Constitution Hill. That was him at the first there. He gave that plenty of air, probably having jumped a few fences the other day. He might have been remembering that, but he gave State Man the initiative out the gate. As I say, it was a conservative sort of ride and was kept out wide as well. State Man just always seemed to be, as I say, controlling the race on the front end. Now, he's been beaten a country mile in the end, Constitution Hill, but you must have been surprised by that, were you? I
was surprised. Like we were saying here off air, Gary, like it's irrelevant in the end because State Man is so superior and Constitution Hill just hasn't run to anywhere close to his best. We know that. But for a horse, Constitution Hill, there was even talk that maybe he could make it. So he's an uncomplicated horse. He doesn't have to be buried in behind. And just to set off and give State Man 4 lengths from the gate. They're 4 lengths that you're going to have to find at some point in the race, and it's difficult to find that type of ground on a horse with the class that State Man has.
And State Man's such a neat jumper as well. He's not likely to make a mistake when he's dictating things like this up top. And here's the error from Constitution Hill that finishes off any chance he had. The tempo just beginning to lift. He gets that all wrong. Cargesi goes by him, and James Bowen knows the game is up at that stage. He quickly accepts the situation. Golden Ace has run a smashing race again.
She has. I know, she really has. She's the champion hurdle winner, and she was the one who was closest to State Man for much of the way. Cargesi moves into second place in front of her, and she battles back. She never gives up. Golden Ace. Great that Jeremy Scott brought her over here, the champion hurdle winner. Great that she took her chance in the race. She was a big price behind the 2 big guns, but no, she's run a massive race again, and down to the last. Paul Town and just kept the revs up. State Man popped out over it, and he's tired, Gary. He's been on the go from Flagfall and Paul Town and Aston, and he put in that race-winning surge on the run from the third last flight, and they're closing on him going to the line, but that's allowable. He's run out an emphatic winner.
What a marvellous horse he is, State Man. It's back to the drawing board, I'm afraid, for Nicky Henderson and the Constitution Hill team. Hopefully the horse is all right first and foremost, but it was such a disappointing run from him today, and never really, in truth, looked like getting within hailing distance of State Man. What a marvellous horse the winner is, Don. He's probably been underappreciated over the years, but I think after that, even allowing for the fact that Constitution Hill's way below his best, people have to, I think, give this fella the recognition.
For sure, he's a champion hurdle winner. He would have won the champion hurdle at Cheltenham this season had he not come down at the final flight. He's now won 3 Punchestown champion hurdles in a row. And as well, Gary, to come back from where he was in the early part of the season, like when he was beaten by Brighter Days Ahead at Christmas time, you were kind of thinking, would we ever see the real State Man again? And then even when he won the Irish champion hurdle, that was the race in which Lossiemouth fell. He finished a very tired horse that day, but at Cheltenham we saw him back, cheek pieces on for the first time, cheek pieces on again today, and back at Punchestown at this time of year. He just loves Punchestown, and he's uncomplicated as well. Like Paul Townend can put him wherever he wants in a race, and if nobody wants to go on, he's very happy to go on. He's done that before. He's done it again today, and you can argue this performance is right up there with his very best.
Bit of an anticlimax. The big clash we were all anticipating between State Man and Constitution Hill never really threatened to materialise. This horse took the race by the scruff of the neck and never relinquished it really from that point on. Always in full control. State Man then, Paul Townend, what a moment for him.